Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, beautiful, beautiful individual. A new week, and well, it's good to be back. Today, I would like to speak about observation and contemplation and action. Also, these are reflected in our consciousness soul, our intelligent soul, or mind soul as it also called. Mind soul is easier to say, and the sentient soul, or the feeling soul. When we are just observing, silently observing, letting what we observe work upon our being, that is our ego being in our consciousness soul. Just sitting here consciously, taking in. That is the consciousness soul. And when you have taken in what it is that you, have chosen to take in, and reflect and contemplate and think about that thing, become acquainted with it, touch it with your thoughts and your inner observation, that is you going from you shifting your ego. Just like you shift from your hearing to your ear to your eyes, based if you will focus on your ear or focus on your eyes, or even your tongue or your nose or your touch. You see, you can switch your ego everywhere in your body. But when you switch from the consciousness soul over to the mind soul, you are taking what you just consciously observed with you to contemplate and reflect upon it, so that you can, through words and communication, share it with others. If we only observe through conscious effort alone, without having reflected or contemplated upon its existence, upon its reality, and so on, we will only have a sense for the truth, but we wouldn't know how to communicate it. Through your consciousness, or through your mind soul or intelligent soul, you reflect and strengthen your apparatus for thinking, your faculties for thinking. They become clearer, stronger, more precise, more direct, so that you can truly contemplate on what you have set your will to contemplate, your focus, your intention, your resolve, your directional one-track mind, more or less, when it comes to these things. Because we cannot have two things at the same time in our mind unless we are, comparing them or having them at the same time as something in relation to each other. If we try to have two different things, we will only be able to see them as one thing, in a sense. It's hard to explain that, but you cannot consciously, here and now, you can, of course. You can get a sense of these two different realities at the same time, but trying to turn and focus them and observe them at the same time, like we have two different consciousnesses, two different egos, is not possible. You need to focus your attention. That is the trick. So when you have been able to master your own consciousness soul, you're able to observe in steady silence. With your intelligent soul, you learn to direct your thought and etheric forces, your astral forces, in your etheric body. You see, your thoughts is dragged from the astral and is worked and shows through the etheric body. Also, thoughts brings a physical reflection too. Let's say you think about something disgusting and you get a micro expression of disgust on your face. That, for example, is a physical reflection upon an emotion. Well, I digress. When you are in the consciousness soul, reflecting upon a rose, you see that thorny stem, and you reflect upon the petals and all its details, and you get my drift here. You use your active faculties to reflect upon this object. That is you using your ego in your intelligent soul. Now, if you feel the rose to be beautiful and feel a warmth from it, a certain feeling of delight and joy, like you would a beautiful rose. That is you having gone from the intelligent soul to the sentient soul, to the feeling of things. When you see the world sprouting in the summer around you, get a feeling, a sense of life, a sense of vitality, and the greenery, the forces, the true forces of life around you. You have that sense also in winter, but that sense has retreated within us, and we have to more or less close our eyes and become aware of our own etheric being, life force, to be able to truly connect again to the etheric forces of the earth, since it is kind of slumbering in winter. In the summer it's much easier because it is laid out for us, out in conscious, physical, sense perceptible existence. So these three, we need to have them active, all three, and in balance, because if we do not, we will either only become conscious but not be able to communicate it, or only reflect, constantly reflect upon things and come out with more or less half-truths without truly have got a sense of its reality in its conscious or emotional state. And with only in the sentient soul, you will only be a feeling being, but you wouldn't know how to direct your apparatus, your own faculties, your own being towards what you are meant to do. Mastering your own being. These are only 3 of the faculties you can come up with based on what you consciously can come up with now. Remember, you also now have this physical body. Then you have the etheric body, your life body, or your fluidic, your water body. Then you have your astral body. Your etheric body is also your life, what is building your form, what is keeping you alive, what is also connecting you to the country you're in and your family and so on, and your appearance. And then you have the astral, which is your longings, passions, dreams, pleasures, pains, sorrows, and so on. Every animal has this. It is in human beings, it is a little higher up because we can actively work upon our longings and our passions to direct them towards where it is actually helpful, where it actually is fruitful to direct it, instead of wanting everything and everywhere and never satiate that longing, because that longing wish for something else, it wish for something spiritual. And then you have the ego. And so, you have 3 more faculties we work upon, manas, buddhi, atman, so we become a 7-fold human being in the future. And then again, we have thinking, feeling, and willing, which also is reflected in the intelligent soul and sentient soul. The thinking is in the intelligent soul, feeling is in the sentient soul. Well, and will, of course, is in the physical body. It comes up from the earthly. If we are below the earth, those earthly desires and will impulses is not very healthy. But if we are above in the periphery and also penetrating deep down into the center, you need to be all the way into the center, out beyond past. You see? You need to be both the physical plane and the spiritual that is on the periphery of it. It is very important to keep every single thing. There is 3 parts. You have the earth, the below earth in a sense, and then you have what is here on the surface, and then you have the spiritual. That is the 3 parts. This earthly kingdom is on the surface, but we have been so obsessed with what the corpse of this world is, cutting up all this physicality and try to understand it by destroying it. But that is not possible. We have to truly connect to it while it is alive, while it is here with us in its sense perceptible sense. But we can only do it by cultivate our intelligence and our sense for, well, all of our inner faculties, which is what I share with you, so you can become aware that we are so much more than only passive thinking, our physical body, and rampant instincts. we truly are something more that we can grab onto and master, and to, well, if we if we are resolved enough, we can truly get a sense for the future too. The sense of the seeds that we need to sow, nurture, and grow in this lifetime, so that we have, well, a more helpful, healthy, and uplifting disposition in our next life. And it will be a while, because it will take long time in the spiritual world to finish what we are meant to do in the spiritual before we incarnate again to earth. It takes a few thousand years. So better make the best you can of this life, because you won't incarnate again until this earth development has something new to give you. If you do let life pass you by passively, you will not reap and cultivate the fruits you need for the next life. That is what we are as initiates always cultivating and always focusing on. It is not for this life and for our own satisfaction alone. It is not for our own greedy, selfish, you see, just for self-promotion. It truly is to share, uplift, and to more or less lift up the whole of reality into the spiritual world. Lift it up, not dragging the spiritual down into materiality, because it's not possible. It will become a mockery. No, the physical is 100% guaranteed part of the spiritual. It's spiritual facts turn into physical results. And it is all about connecting to that and finding the right concepts, so that you can first put the puzzle pieces together, and then you can start to find these realities through your own active effort. You need the instrument and the right understanding of symbols, concepts, and feelings of these things first. And that takes long dedication and study. It requires you to know yourself, obviously. And that takes time, energy, and silence. You connect to yourself, connect to God, connect to the Christ principle, the God of the individual, truly. Through the Christ you find the Father again. And through the Holy Spirit we all connect in this beautiful, beautiful warmth of soul and wonder. And I will leave you with this today. Thank you so much. May you have a magnificent week. And, well, we'll see you very soon anyways. And may you be protected, guided, blessed, loved by Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, my God, the higher hierarchy, ancient masters of old, ancestors from all lifetimes. And may you find your wonderful path, your individual journey to where we can build a future together in love, dignity, Philadelphia, sibling love, community of sibling love. Love you. Goodbye. Thank you so much.